Welcome back. We're talking about college enrollment for the 2009-2010 school year. What are some of the implications as we look ahead? Here to speak with us today is Jay McGowan, chairman of the board of the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities. He's president of Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks for being here. Tell us about the results of your survey.
Well, the survey showed that most schools, about 2 out of 3, are holding their own or even improving somewhat, and that's much better than expected. Of course, the rest of the schools are feeling a little more challenged than that. But we've been greatly helped by the increases in federal financial aid in the Pell money and work study and in the other areas.
But there are a lot of research, there's a lot of research out there showing that students are really struggling to afford college right now. What kind of implications will this have?
Well, of course, everyone, even the ones with the big, even the college universities with the big endowments, are dependent still on tuition. And for most families and for most students, you need financial aid to bolster your own contribution. So the less money available, then the more challenging is attending higher education.
What kind of implications do you think this will have? Do you think students will be forced to drop out because of the recession?
Well, what the data shows so far, at least in the survey, is that we're holding our own. What's happening is that college and universities are giving more money than ever before. The federal government is helping in that regard and giving more money than ever before. College and universities also are keeping their costs down, their tuition increases down. Freezing salaries in many cases, working with in partnership with consortia to keep prices down. So we're all pitching in to try and make it work. So far, so good for most institutions. Most
institutions, but which of the institutions are the most effective? What kind of schools?
Well, the ones that would be most dependent on the markets that have been hit the worst by the economy. So in markets that draw on students who are really hard pressed, if jobs have been lost in that area, those are the students less likely to either want to continue college, so retention becomes an issue, or go in the first place, or not to go to your institution but to go to one that's perceived as less expensive.
I mean, tuition costs keep rising and rising. That makes it really hard for students. Do you think there should be some sort of tuition cap?
Well, I've been listening to, I'm a fan of Bloomberg. I listened to all the discussion about health care. I think that as our overall economy strengthens and we're able to make improvements in managing the costs of some of the things like health care, colleges and universities with our faculty and with our staff benefits will be able to get some benefit there. But in the meantime, I do think that colleges and universities are being very responsible, holding costs at a minimum, holding salary increases at a minimum. Ours, just for instance, at Bellarmine was the lowest in anyone's memory, under 3%, and we allowed only a 2% salary pool increase. So we're holding our own, but there are rising costs in other areas, healthcare, for instance, being one of them, certainly technology. But my experience, and of course I'm biased given my own position as a president, but from my own experience, colleges, when they raise tuition, are being very responsible in doing so. And we are the biggest contributors in all instances of financial aid ourselves, so it's in our own best interest to keep our tuitions very reasonable. This year, though, since September, colleges have been even more severe in holding back their resources than ever before. And of course, that'll mean cuts here and there, fewer hires, lower salary increments, and so on.
Okay, still a very difficult time to go to college, but thanks for breaking that down for us. Joseph McGowan, president of Bellarmine University and chairman of the board of the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities. Stick with us.